Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Oldish. It is my pleasure to be with you today. This is one of my favorite shows to do every year. It really is because it's sort of happy and jolly. And while we don't normally do it quite this early, I think we're pretty close. Today is the day when I show you our 2020 gift guide. Yes, I'm so excited. We've done this for a few years. Who doesn't like unwrapping presents? We've done this for a few years. It started with our products-based business, which is called Brown Healthcare, and we had a lot of clients who would be, ordering hip protectors or whatever they were doing, and they would say, geez, I don't know what to get mom or dad for Christmas, for Hanukkah, whatever the celebration was. It could even have been their birthday. They were just at a loss because, when people are older and have downsized, they don't have as much room. If people live in long-term care facilities, they really don't have much room. This year has added an extra level of difficulty because of COVID. So many of the sort of experiential gifts that people might think of giving, they can't because we aren't able to get together. So we've taken that into consideration in doing our 2020 gift guide. And, every year it changes a bit, but every year it seems to grow. I have 65 suggestions for you today. Some of them are no cost at all. Some of them are a little bit of cost. Some of them take into account that there might be several people contributing to any given gift. So I've made it easy for you to find. Let me just share my screen with you. You see it's right there, right here on the top. I've just put it here. Now, for those of you who may not have seen our website, this is theoldish.com, and there is so much here. Let me just digress for a moment and show you. We deal with so many topics. There are well over 2,000 different articles here, and there is something for everybody. Look at this, vacant malls repurposed as housing. Isn't that interesting? I think that's a really interesting topic and a good way to use some old buildings. Anyway, it just goes on and on. There are 6 different channels, but today we're going to look at this one, the Oldish Gift Guide 2020. So it is on top here. It's also on our Caregiver Central channel. So you can click on that. There you go. Now, if you are somebody who is a member of the Oldish, so if you've actually signed up, it doesn't cost you anything. It's just that there are things like a library, medication forms that you can fill out online. It's private information. Nobody needs to see that. So it's behind a wall. Again, it doesn't cost anything, but one of the benefits you have is this add to library feature, which is this thing right here. If you see an article that you like or want to save for future reference, you can just add it to your library. When you're done with it, you can remove it from your library. But that's a really good way because there are so many articles of just keeping the things you want handy for you. So as I said, although I've called it a gift guide, it is really a guide, although we publish it at this time of year, all year round. You can refer to this at any time of the year. If mom or dad or grandma has a birthday, if it's Mother's Day, Father's Day, this is the guide to come to find inspiration. Okay, so let's go back and we'll have a look. Yes, so I did note here there is a trend toward minimalist living. And the thing that caught me most when I was writing this was this. The amount of stuff we seem to be storing rather than using. Do you do that? I've actually started to look at my stuff and think, am I storing this? Or am I actually using it? Because if I'm just storing it, maybe it needs to leave. Maybe. So that really is something that has been a bit of a guiding star for me as I went through this year's list. So as always, the number one thing on the list is time. That's all anybody wants. And you know, I've said that to my children this year as well. Don't buy me stuff. I don't need anything. If I want anything, I generally go and buy it right then and there when I think I want it. What I want is to spend time with my family. That's going to be challenging this year. It's going to be challenging for everyone. And maybe the time we spend together, we'll have to make use of technology and be remote. We'll get to that further down on the list because I've made a suggestion for that. But time is always something that is at a premium, and it's the one thing that you just never get back. So think about that. A digital picture frame, you know, if you've done that before as a gift, it is definitely something to think about re-upping, because we need to make sure that people are able to look at current pictures. Who doesn't like to see new pictures of the grandchildren? Who doesn't like to see pictures of a vacation? And you know what? It can be a vacation that you took as a family 40 years ago. How lovely to relive those memories. So, you know, take some time, go through the pictures, and do a new memory stick or memory card to put in that digital picture frame. And if you haven't given a digital picture frame, this is a great year to do it. Favorite music, download it onto an iPod or CD. That'd be great, of course. It has been found that if people have dementia, music is very calming. And music from back in the day when they were young, maybe the early days of their romance with their partner, this is something that twigs great memories, and they sing along with the songs. They can remember stories from that time. So, you know, music, always a wonderful gift. A subscription to satellite radio. Gift certificates to a favorite restaurant. Now, that has been on our list in the past. This year, things are changing a bit. A lot of restaurants are providing curbside pickup. So those restaurant gift certificates are still valid. And you know, this is the sort of thing that you can use to support your neighborhood restaurant. So remember that restaurants are in a pickle as well. They have staff, staff has family, staff has bills to pay. So we want to support our favorite local restaurants, and this is a really great way of doing it. Home assistants such as Alexa, Siri, or Hey Google, they can make chores really easy. You know, you can set them to turn lights on, and so that nobody walks into a dark house, or you know, somebody can crawl into bed and ask for the lights to be turned off. It can also adjust the temperature. Lots of good stuff. Now here's something, low vision playing cards or a playing card holder. There are links to products that we particularly support, so you can take a look at those links. They will take you right to a product where you can see pictures and pricing. Seniors exercise class. Now that's something that has been on our list before, but we've had to alter it a bit because of course a lot of stuff isn't going on in person. So online courses, still many of them are requiring membership. Still a good idea to pay for that membership. If you know of somebody who is in a long-term care facility and has dementia, fidget aprons, lap blankets, pillows, those kinds of things are really things that are valued. So useful items that don't take up a lot of space. I mean, we want to avoid getting people kitsch and just things that have to be dusted or sit around. Prepaying for services for someone who maybe lives in their own home in a community still. Snow removal, window washing, grass cutting for next year. Power washing that siding, or getting the garden in shape either this fall or next spring. Really good gifts that have a practical purpose. And, you know, use some imagination when you're wrapping these gifts up. Don't just give them a gift certificate in an envelope. Really think about it. Think about doing something and, you know, wrap it around some favorite candy or some such thing. That'd be really nice. Puzzles, wander safety, or fall alarms. These are ever so important, especially if you've got somebody who is living in their own home and maybe needs just a little bit of support. Maybe they're just starting to need a bit of support. These are good things to consider. Back scrubbers, services like Instacart, that's available in Canada and the US. They're providing grocery and pharmacy deliveries. A cane tip for winter snow and ice. For people who are going out and about in the winter time, we want to make sure that they don't fall. We want to look after their safety and security, so a cane tip is a really good idea. And following along that same line, hip protectors are something that are really important. So, call the toll-free number of your favorite hip protector company. My company actually does sell a line of hip protectors here in Canada. We can't send them to the States, but we can certainly tell you where to find them in the States. In the UK as well, in Australia, we can tell you where to find that particular distributor in those countries. But these are, disclaimer, my company sells them, but they are a really good brand. They are #1 in Canada, #1 across the world, in fact. So a tablet, an iPad, or whatever the comparable Android version might be that has apps on it like Skype, FaceTime, some games. People always appreciate the ability to be in touch and to have something that occupies a bit of time. And there are also some of those games that can be played remotely with friends, so they can both be playing the same game from different places. Don't forget to teach them how to use the app. So if you give them something with an app they haven't used before, make sure there's a gift certificate for time to teach them how to use it. Inevitably, somebody says to us, cash, you didn't put cash on the list. So this year I put cash on the list. Yes, it's a good gift, and yes, many people need it, but try not to just put cash in an envelope and hand it to somebody. If it's the only gift they're opening, or just one of a few gifts that they're opening, try to make it a little bit exciting. Try to, for instance, if the cash is if your idea of what they should do with the cash is pay for their cable subscription for the year, then say that, and build something around it in a little gift box, so that they're very clear. They may not choose to use it for that, but at least you're thinking about what they need. Okay. Automatic night lights that react to motion. Always a good gift, especially in the night. If you've got somebody who gets up in the middle of the night, LED light strips, they are cheap and cheerful. You can go to anywhere, any hardware store, anywhere, and buy whatever length you need, and just add a bit of illumination where they're needed. I've suggested stair treads and underneath cupboards as ideas about where to put them. A magnetic whiteboard for the fridge, Post-it notes to label cupboards and drawers. These are really great things to remind people of upcoming appointments, to remind people who live alone and, again, may need a bit of support where things are, so that they don't have to get frustrated. Coupons for rides to the doctor, mall, or community. So that would be a coupon for you to come and pick them up. Okay, I think later on we've got the idea of a gift certificate for a taxi cab account. That's also a good gift. FireAvert is a product that's been on our list for a while, and it's one that I really love because it's a device that shuts power off to your stove when the smoke alarm sounds. Again, a bit of support for somebody who lives alone and may be a bit forgetful. It was only available for electric stoves when it first came out, but now it is also available for gas stoves. Slippers, shoes, and boots with really good tread. Again, to prevent falls. Really good thing. For a caregiver, a coupon for respite time. Caregivers don't really get all the support that they need, and they can become exhausted very easily. So if you know of somebody who is a caregiver, give them coupons for an hour or 2 hours where you will go in and watch over the person who is receiving care, so that the caregiver can go out, get their hair done, just go for a walk, breathe some fresh air, and reset their mind. That would be very appreciated by many, many people. So here's the idea of the account for the local taxi cab company. Squatty potty, that is something that everybody laughs at, but it's something that's pretty necessary. It is something that was on Shark Tank back in the day, and it is a very, very popular product. Not sure how popular it is as a gift, but it's a very popular product because it does put your legs in exactly the right position to help you empty your bowels properly, and many older people need that, let's face it. Bidet toilet seats. Now, that is something that has been a huge rage this year in the time of COVID. I think a lot of companies sold out. So, I mean, you can buy the whole complete bidet toilet seat or toilet. I think they're pretty pricey. I think I know I've seen one that's up around the $5,000 US mark. But you can also purchase the bidet seats. So you just retrofit the existing toilet seat. $100, $150. I've seen one for $79. So this is something that replaces toilet paper. It's something that's very standard in European households. We have not caught on to this in North America, and to our detriment. But this bidet toilet seat is something that can be very helpful. And again, it's a gift that maybe 2 or 3 people can go in on. $100 or $150 is not necessarily inexpensive for some people, but very welcome gift, and hook it up for them as well. I can tell you that the bidet toilet seats, many of them come with a warm water wash option. For that, you need to have a plug installed behind or near to the toilet so that you can plug that in. It's a lovely feature. Warm water. You'd like warm water on your tush, wouldn't you? I certainly would. It's not essential. It's just nice. So depending on how many people are going in on the gift and how far you want to take it, a bidet toilet seat and a plug for warm water. But if you're going to do the warm water option, you have to make sure that the bidet toilet seat you're purchasing has that option for warm water. Okay? Good stuff. Next on the list, gift boxes. They continue to be all the rage. And there are gift boxes for pretty much everything you can imagine, from clothes to toiletry to food, you name it. If there's something a loved one in your life particularly likes, get them a gift box subscription, and then they'll be receiving a gift once a month, once a quarter, depends on what you choose. It's a lovely gift. A selection of greeting cards. Now, this is a really cool thing to do, is to buy birthday, anniversary, and condolence cards and a roll of stamps. You can print off a sheet of return addresses. You can print off a sheet of addresses if you know their address list, family, close friends, people to whom they would be sending these cards. Print that off, so all they have to do is peel and stick it on an envelope. Easy Daisies is a task scheduling system. We sell that at Brown Healthcare. You can find it in other places as well, but it does serve as, again, a reminder and a support for people who are living independently. That's a really good thing to check out. There's a link there for you. Frozen single-serving meals. You can cook this at home. If you are a terrific cook or baker, do some of this stuff. Wrap them up nicely with the baking instructions and have them available to put in their freezer. That's a very appreciated gift. Something you can actually start now. When you're making that pot of soup for your own family, double the recipe and freeze some for people to give as a gift. Freeze some for yourself while you're at it, because you'll appreciate that too, especially if you have a busy schedule. A plate of Christmas goodies. So many people are not baking this year the way that they would have been baking in years gone by, simply because of COVID. People aren't visiting back and forth. The gatherings aren't planned, but that doesn't mean that people don't appreciate a little Christmas or holiday cheer. So if you're doing some baking, just do a little extra and give some as a gift on a pretty plate. Maybe offer a bag of refills so that they can restock. That would be really nice. Nice little sweet thing for them to have after their meal one night. Little sweet dessert. Ring doorbells so that seniors can see who's actually out at the door. That's a really good thing if you've got somebody who's into tech. Adult coloring books, gift cards for favorite online shops, car handles for somebody to help them get out of the car. That's a very challenging thing for some people. And if they're challenged in the summertime and they put on their winter coats and hats and boots and stuff, it just adds that extra bulk and makes it a little more difficult. So we've named some brands there. I can tell you we haven't tested any of them, so read the reviews. Audiobooks, I love audiobooks. Now, I listen to them as I'm driving. I listen to them as I'm cleaning the house. But audiobooks for somebody who has dimming eyes are a really great thing. Same with a podcast library. And I've told you some of my favorite podcasts here. You can, go to your favorite podcast source. And here I've listed a bunch of my favorites so that you can maybe listen to them yourself. But, to put that onto that iPad that you might be giving as a gift, or to just add them to an iPad would be really nice. Tickets to an upcoming concert. Now you might think, well, that's kind of weird, but no. People like Josh Groban are actually offering online concerts, and you purchase tickets to them, and then you log in on the appropriate day and time, and you watch a lovely concert. Bonus, these online concerts, they cost so much less than in-person concerts ever did. So, if your loved one has a favorite artist, check it out. Non-breakable water bottle, that's a good thing. Large button TV remote, window bird feeders. Who doesn't love to watch the birds in the winter? A calendar for an upcoming year with birthdays and anniversaries. That's actually a really good mate for that stack of birthday and anniversary cards and stamps. You can have that calendar. A lovely blanket. You can consider a weighted blanket. I have a weighted blanket and I love it. Cell phone with large keys, new winter coat, scarf, hats, mittens, a memory journal. Now this is something, if you've got parents or grandparents who are still very cognitively well, how great is it to jump on a remote call with them, so whether it's FaceTime or Zoom, and ask them questions about their past memories, their first day of school, how they met their partner. These memory books, memory journals are terrific. You can go to any bookstore, either online or in person, and write in memory book, memory journal, and you'll find a whole bunch of them. They have some slightly different features, so choose the one that suits you best. Grab bars. Oh, here, chore calendar. Yeah, chore calendar, that's something I don't want to skip over that, because if you've got a bunch of family members that live close by, having a chore calendar where people commit to doing certain tasks, one person might be responsible for the garden, another for cleaning the house once a month or whatever, somebody else for raking the leaves. But if they know and have confidence that these sorts of tasks are going to be taken care of, it makes it so much easier for someone to continue living in place in the house where they want to stay. Along that same line, grab bars installed in appropriate places are a really good gift. Now, I know that a lot of people think, oh, grab bars, it'll make my house look like an institution. No. There are some beautiful ones out there right now. Take a look at the Invisalign. They're gorgeous. You can find grab bars that are different colors, that are textured differently, rubbed oil. You can find something to match any decor you have got. I guarantee you. Some of the fancier ones might be a little more pricey. Again, that's a gift different people can go in on. But, have a look at the Invisalign. That's INVSIA. When I first looked at their line, I had a big smile on my face, because they do not look at all like grab bars. They mimic other things. They actually have dual purposes in many cases. They're towel bars, they're toilet paper holders, they're a lot of different things. But don't forget that grab bars have to be properly installed. That's very important. The backing has to be there. Otherwise, if somebody needs a grab bar in the event of a trip or a fall, they could very easily find themselves ripping it off the wall. So you've got to make sure that they are installed properly. That can't tell you the importance of that. Light therapy lamps. I've got one, love it. Medication organizers, there are tons of them. Garden kneeler for people who like to garden but find it a little tough to do that up and down thing. Long shoehorn, non-slip socks, a 1-cup coffee or tea brewer, new sweatpants and bathrobe, Nordic walking poles for people who like to get out and walk but could use that little extra help with balance, homemade gift baskets. Now, this is something that many people in a family can work on at the same time and contribute things. It might be, a T-shirt with a saucy saying, something that pertains to them directly. There are lots of places to get T-shirts made these days that are very personal. You can get that done. You could knit something for them. You could knit a new pair of mittens. You could put a picture frame with a picture of that new grandbaby. You can do so many different things in a gift basket. It makes it very personal when everybody can contribute to it. Now, travelers, this is something that's new to our list this year. And again, because of COVID, we can't go anywhere. We just can't go anywhere. It's not safe to jump on a plane and go anywhere. I would love to go to Italy. I would love to so much, but it's not safe. I don't relish the thought of jumping on planes, but there are places like Amazon's Explore, and I've given you a link to that take you on adventures. Now, some of them are paid, so you've got to look at that, but I can tell you that I have done a couple of online adventure tours. I did one in Italy, actually, just about 6 months ago. Sat in the comfort of my home with a glass of Italian wine, and a tour guide took us to different spots and showed off a bunch of stuff, and I loved every minute of it. Some of them are subscription, some of them are fixed price, some of them are donations that you make to the tour guide. So you can choose your tour. Amazon is one place. There are other places. I know I found the Italian tour just because it popped up in my Facebook feed. So, you can check out lots of different places. The last thing on our list is backyard sheds. Now, I know that sounds really odd, but people have been looking for ways to, for want of a better term, escape one another. Okay, I mean, we are all in very close confines with our significant others, with our family members this year due to COVID, and backyard sheds have been selling out like hotcakes. Who would have thought? I mean, I live in an apartment, so a backyard shed would not be or something I would have thought of, but it is something that a lot of people are thinking of. And, you might build it as a place that down the road you can put garden equipment in. But right now, what people are using it for is to sort of decorate it up and be a place to go and read a book or have a nap or exercise a hobby that you particularly like. So they can be for both men and women, but I think that's a great idea. Set yourself up with a hobby in a backyard shed, and when COVID is over, sheds are always a useful thing. So there you go. That is our gift guide for 2020. Again, you can refer to it at any time through the year for any occasion. We've done this I think this is our 4th year. So there are other gift guides. There are things we've taken off because we no longer find them safe, things we've put on. They do change, but you're welcome to go to theoldish.com. I'll show you where that is. And you can put into the search bar gift guide, and the past 4 years will all come up for you. You can look at all of them, but this year's gift guide is the one that is perhaps more relevant just due to the fact that we have this situation. And I know that for a lot of people, I've seen posts on Facebook, people are starting to decorate for the holidays already. I think people are just looking for something that makes them happy. Just wanting to put a smile on their faces and give themselves something to look forward to and something to occupy their time. So they're getting out their Christmas decorations a little early. Nothing wrong with that. I tend not to put up my Christmas wreath until after Remembrance Day, and I will honor that again this year. But the day after Remembrance Day, it will be up. So, no judgment for anybody who's doing a little bit of early decorating at this point in time. You need to do what makes you happy and brings you peace. So I certainly hope that for all of you. I also know that a lot of people are starting their shopping early because none of us knows what is in store for us in the weeks ahead. Stores could be shut down again. We might not be able to get out even to our local stores. Do support your local stores. I found something very cool. My daughter may have told me about this. If you go on something like Etsy, you can search with parameters that limit it to your country, your province or state, your city, and you can find makers that are in your local area. They have also been hit hard by COVID, so I would urge you to support them as well as small business people in the town where you live. It's amazing what you can find just around the corner if you look. So, lots of options for this year. Lots and lots and lots of options. I will leave you with that, and I will wish you well. I hope you take care of yourselves. Please do take care of one another. And do remember that it takes a village to age a senior. Bye, everybody.